So today I'm going to take a look at a few different brands of duct tape. In fact, I've got 6 or 7 here, and show you the differences. I was quite surprised recently on just how much they vary, both in price and how useful they are. Right, we're going to be looking at quite a few different tapes here. We've got the basic duct tape from Duck, which is their original. We've got a little very cheap duct tape made by 3M. I've got I'm not sure where this is from. It's probably from B&Q. It's just another generic cheap duct tape. So those are the thinner tapes. We've also got 2 more premium tapes. We've got Gorilla Tape, who make a whole line of products including Gorilla Glue, and we've also got another duct tape from Duck, their ultimate brand, which you'll see is a fair bit better than their original. Just as a note, this is the metal sort of aluminium foil tape that is useful for sealing ducts. So it's quite different. And this is another tape that I'm also including in this review, but it's not really duct tape. It's a clear repair tape. This is better for fixing things like tents and air mattresses, etc. In this little video, I'm just going to look at how the tapes compare. Now, I'm going to start off with this cheap tape. I'm just going to tear a little bit off. It actually tears quite well. You'll see on some of the other tapes that it's a lot worse. I'm going to stick it down here. I'm going to see how it releases. This is the 3M tape from Lidl. Doesn't tear too badly, but actually a lot of the time I find it just sort of tears all over the place. Of course, it's doing all right now. I'm going to put that on there. This is very sticky and feels very thin. This is the duct tape from Duck. This doesn't tear very well, and it actually doesn't feel any better quality than the other 2 tapes. In fact, this cheap generic tape, which I think was from B&Q, probably tears the best. Just out of those 3 cheaper tapes, see how they sort of release and how sticky they are. Obviously, this is a fairly subjective thing. They're all peeling off this without leaving any residue, so that's quite good. I find on some surfaces they will leave a load of mess, but I didn't do too badly then. This is the duct tape from 3M, their ultimate brand. This tears much better. It's really quite a thick tape, and I'll talk about it in the article, but that's one of my favourites. And this is almost twice as thick. I think it is twice as thick. It actually needs a fair bit of strength to even tear it, but it tears very neatly. It's really thick. You can even sort of tear it down like that without any difficulty, which would be much more difficult than the other ones. Both very sticky. We'll just see if they leave much of a residue. Now, I've found that these are both very good. So that's all of the tapes. I was really expecting some of them to leave a bit of a residue, but they didn't when we were doing this. When I was doing it the other day with my children, doing a little duct tape wallet, it didn't work as well as that, and it left a load of a mess all over the mat, but it must have been the material we're using. I did find that when we were testing the other day on a different sort of mat, it was like a silicone mat for doing craft, that the ultimate duct tape and the Gorilla Tape was by far the best, and the others were pretty similar. Just to look at the thickness, I'm not sure this will sharpen the video. I'm just going to 0 the calipers. We can see 16 mil, and this tape here think is about half the thickness, but actually it's thick enough for most things. That's exactly 8mm, which might not show up in the video. So half the thickness, and then if you go down to the cheap ones, even the original duct tape, 6mm. That's 6mm. So that's about as thin as any of the tapes I found. So I'll go over it in the article. I don't think that it's worth paying any extra for this duck branded duct tape. If you are going to go for the duck brand, I'll definitely go for the Ultimate tape. And if you want to really push the boat out, I'll go for the Gorilla tape, which I think is brilliant. If you're going to have one roll of tape, I'll probably have a roll of Gorilla tape. Gorilla also do this little 1-inch wide roll, which is really handy. I just have it in my bag. It always comes in use for various things. Really strong, really sticky, but it doesn't leave much residue. I've used it to put things on a... I had to attach some tarpaulin in the shop because they're fitting a window, and we used this over the paint work, and it didn't leave any mark, and it was strong enough to hold the weight of quite a big piece of tarpaulin, so quite impressed with that. Just going to try and see what the release is like. Maybe on this mat here, and just see if it's any different. You see the sort of thing that happens? I'm really frustrated. I think I got lucky on in the earlier video, but there we go. See the sort of raggedy edges you get. It's just, I don't know, it's not brilliant. So it's leaving a little bit of sticky residue on this. I think it obviously does depend on the work surface. That's better. Okay, I've stuck the 5 tapes down onto just a desk here. I'm just going to see how they release. We'll start off with the Gorilla tape. Okay, that's not leaving any residue at all. We'll then go to the Duck Ultimate, which is again not leaving any residue. And now the Duck Original. Hasn't really left any residue either. The little 3M tape has left behind a little bit of residue, and you can see it starts to peel off on some surfaces, or if you leave it for longer. I've probably left it for about 10 minutes here. I know it leaves stuff behind, and this is generic tape, which is just your box standard. Oh dear. Yeah, so you don't know whether you can see that in the video, but that has left some residue behind even just after 10 minutes. You want them to be sticky, but it's usually a bit of a pain if it leaves behind a load of residue, depending on what you're sticking it to. Sometimes it won't matter. So hopefully you found that a useful overview. It may come in use. If you're going to stock on one duct tape and you don't need absolutely loads of it, I'll probably go for the slightly more expensive one, either the Ultimate duct tape, which is actually a really good general purpose one, or if you can get a hold of it, the Gorilla tape, which is incredibly strong and tears really well. You can even cut it into thinner strips, so I quite like that. But either of them will do the job. Please take a look at the article where I give further details.